Hi, I'm Tracy Long. I was born on July 31st, 1965. I am known for making Harry Potter books. I made my first Harry Potter book in 1997. My first Harry Potter book was called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Hello, my name is Marie Curry. I was born November 7, 1867 in Warsaw. I was the youngest of 5 children. My parents were teachers. I graduated at the age of 16 on June 12, 1893 with a gold medal. I then took a year off and worked as a tutor. After I became involved with clandestine to further my introduction while waiting for my opportunity for higher introduction, I worked as a governess and tutor until I moved to Paris in 1891 to attend Sorbonne. While entering Sorbonne, I obtained my illness in 1893 for physics and later in 1894 for mathematical science, 1894, and when I met Pierre Curie, who later became my husband in 1995. We would have 2 daughters, Irene and in 1897 and Eve. In 1904, I would become famous for my work on radio activity and winning 2 Nobel Prizes as well as my huge contributions to cancer treatments. Along with Pierre in 1898, we discovered polonium and radium. In 1902, I salted radium treatment. It's atomic weight. I won my first Nobel Prize with Pierre and Henry Bectroner in 1903. The same year, I received a doctorate of science and was awarded the David Medal of the Royal Society along with Pierre. During this time, I became the head of physics as the Sorbonne. However, I lost my beloved husband in 1906 to a tragic death. I replaced him as professor of general physics in the Faculty of Science, becoming the first woman to hold the position in 1911. I won my second Nobel Prize in Kushner for my work with radio active. In October of 1914, the first machines known as Priestess Curries were ready. My daughter Irene and I used these 2 X-ray wounded soldiers during in 1930 the Maria Curie Hospital was opened in North London. A place to treat female cancer patients with radiology. In 1944, the hospital was destroyed by a bomb and became a charity to support cancer patients. I died July 4th, 1934 in passing funds for asthmatic and a condition caused from years of exposure to radiation. After my death, Pierre and I was reburied in the Panthéon in Paris, 1995.
You know Harry Houdini. I was born on March 24th, 1874, in Budapest, Hungary, as Eric Wiss. My parents were Rabbi Mary Samuel Wiss and Cecilia Steiner. I had one sister and 5 brothers. When I was 4 years old, my family got on a huge boat the size of the Titanic and came to America. Because of my father's job, we lived in Appleton, Wisconsin. In 1887, my father and I moved to New York, and I became a trapeze artist at night to help make money for my family. My magic career started in 1891 after studying with magician Joseph Finn. That's when I decided to change my name to Harry Houdini. Harry after Harry Keller, and Houdini after French magician Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin. I admired both of these men since I wasn't getting very far with magic and card tricks. I started trying escape acts. In 1894, I started performing at Coney Island with my brother Dash as the Brothers Houdini. We were performing there when I met another performer, Wilhelmina Beatrice Briner. I fell in love with Bess and we were married June 22nd, 1899. After that, Bess took Dash's place as my stage assistant, and we became the Houdinis, but still really hadn't made a big gap. In 1899, I met Martin Beck in St. Paul, Minnesota. He became my manager and was impressed by how I was escaping handcuffs. He convinced me to stick with escape acts, and he booked me with a chain of theaters. We started performing there and making lots of money. People came from all over to watch us. In 1900, that got me to tour in Europe doing escape acts, illusion stunts, and outdoor tricks everywhere I went. I became the handcuff king. People loved me. People loved to see me escape. Once I escaped handcuffs at Scotland Yard. I loved to challenge the police to keep me handcuffed and locked up. Soon I was hanging from ropes, escaping straitjackets, handcuffs, and chains. In 1907, I started touring in the United States because of copycat magicians. I started escaping locked milk cans that were filled with water. The possibilities were endless. What could I escape? A barrel filled with beer, riveted boilers, wet sheets, a belly of a whale. Yep, I was tied up and locked inside of all of these things. And escaped, but I grew tired of and decided to escape myself. In 1912, I introduced a Chinese water torture style. I was upside down in a glass and steel box full of water that was also locked. I had to hold my breath for longer than 3 minutes to get out. The audience loved it. I performed the escape for the rest of my life and didn't stop there. I decided to make a full-sized elephant disappear. It was my most notable stage illusion ever. In 1917, I was elected president of the Society of American Magicians. I served until my death in 1926. I also performed at the American theaters as one of the most successful magicians. I continued escaping illusions and exposing mediums for the rest of my career. I was performing in Montreal when I had 2 men ask me if my stomach could take punches. I told them I would take quite a few punches, but I didn't know they were going to start punching me repeatedly below the belt with a broken ankle from the night before. I couldn't brace myself, so I got hurt and stopped them. I refused to go to the hospital and kept performing, but 2 days later I had a fever and was really sick. The doctor said I had appendix and that I needed to have an emergency surgery, but I ignored them and traveled to Detroit, Michigan to perform. I was so sick, but the show must go on. That was my last performance, and I died October 24th, 1926. I love performing for people all my life, and I had a great time doing it.
Hello, my name is Milton Hershey. I was born on September 13th, 1857 in Hawkersville, Pennsylvania. I am known for making Hershey's milk chocolate in a factory in Hershey's, Pennsylvania, a town I built around the factory for my employees. Something interesting about my life is I worked in candy stores for most of my life. My wife Kitty and I couldn't have children, so we started a school for orphan boys to teach them trades for a job. I would like to be remembered as a good, successful businessman who was a hard worker and cared deeply for my employees, family, and orphan children. Did you know my wife and I were supposed to be on the ship Titanic that sunk? Thank God we had come home early for a business meeting. I died on October 13th, 1945 of pneumonia. Thank you for learning about me. Have a nice day.
Hello, my name is Queen Elizabeth. I was born on September 7th, 1533 in the Richmond Palace. I'm known for being the Queen of England for 45 years. Something interesting about my life is that I defeated the Spanish Armada during my reign. I would like to be remembered as a strong queen who would do anything to protect England. Did you know that I was married to King Philip of Spain? I died on March 24th. Thank you for learning about me. Have a nice day.
My name is Martin Luther King Jr. I was born on January 15th, 1901 in Atlanta, Georgia. I am known for my contributions to the American Civil War rights movement in the 1960s. Something interesting about me is I had a dream speech to end segregation and racism. I would like to be remembered for being one of the youngest people to receive a Nobel Peace Prize in 1964.
Hello, my name is Margaret Andrew and people call me Ma. I was born on April 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. I am an American author, actress, poet, and civil rights activist. My memoir, I Know I the Cage Bird Sings, made history as the first nonfiction bestseller by an African American female. Something interesting about my life is I was the first African American female to connect a cable car. I like to be remembered as someone who wasn't afraid to defend the rights of others. One of my favorite quotes is, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Thank you for learning about me. Have a nice day.
Steve Robert Irwin. I was born on February 22nd, 1962 in Austria. I am known for catching reptiles and singing. Something interesting about my life is I have my own TV show called The Crocodile Hunter. I would like to be remembered as an educator of wildlife habitat conservation. I am responsible for saving roughly 90,000 animals. Also, my tragic death, which happened on September 4th, 2006, came by being stung in the heart by a stingray. Thank you for learning about me. Have a nice day. Craig.
My name is Malala Yousafzai. I was born on July 12, 1997 in a town called Nangargar, Pakistan. I am known for standing up for girls' rights for education. Something interesting about me are I was shot in the head on October 9th, 2012. I was 15 at the time. A man from the Taliban shot me because I was fighting for the rights for girls to go to school. After I was shot, I had to move to England because I can never go home again or the Taliban will kill me. After all of that, I knew I had to keep speaking out. I went to many places to talk about what had happened to me. Later in my life, when I was 17, I won the Nobel Peace Prize. The Prime Minister for Pakistan started the Nobel Youth Peace Prize and later named Nobel Malala Peace Prize. Something you do not know about me are I was named after a woman who was shot for standing up for women's rights. My dad named me. I think he knew I would be strong. When I was little, I wanted to be a doctor. That is why I stood to fight the rights for girls to go to school. I want to be remembered for someone that stood up for something no one or in. She believed in and never let anyone or anything stop me. Thank you for learning about me.
Hello, my name is George Washington Carter. I was born in 1864 in Hardin Grove, Missouri. I am known for helping farmers grow more crops and the successes of genetic engineering methods. Something interesting about my life is I am a scientist who loves science and wrote a book about peanuts. I would like to be remembered as a scientist who helped people. Did you know that I traveled around 2 cities to find a school? Thank you for learning about me. Have a nice day.
Hi, my name is Thomas Jefferson. I was born April 13, 1743 to Peter Jefferson and Jane Randolph Jefferson in Chadwell, Virginia. I married Martha Wells Skelton on January 1st, 1772. I am famous for being elected the 3rd President of the United States. I have thick red hair. My friends call me Tall Tom. I cannot tell books. I'm an excellent writer. When I was only 3 years old, I took a 50-mile horseback ride. I began my formal education when I was only 9 years old. I spent the next 6 years roaming the world and studying. I won the seat of House Burgesses in 1769. In October 1777, I became a member of Virginia's new state legislature. I was a founding father of the United States. We wrote the Declaration of Independence in 1776. That document was telling England that we wanted to be our own country. In the paper, it was announced as the birth of the United States. On March 4th, 1881, I swore into the office of the President of the United States. I stabilized the U.S. economy and defeated the pirates from the North Africa during the Barbary War. In 1795, I invented the wheel cipher. It was a device used to code secret messages. It was later used by the United States Army. In 1825, I founded the University of Virginia. This was designed by me and my granddaughter. I died in Charlottesville, Virginia on July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. My resting place is in Monticello, Virginia.
Jane Goodall. I was born April 3rd, 1934 in London, England. My parents' names are Mimi and Woodland. I have one sister who was born my 4th birthday. What got me interested in chimps was my father gave me a chimpanzee toy that played music. I named her Julie. She looked so real and I still have her. There wasn't enough money for me to go to college, so I had to do different jobs. When I was 22, I got the chance to go to Africa. There, I studied and learned a lot about chimps. I loved going in the forest, and I loved looking for animals in the forest and wasn't afraid of any animal except leopards. Once I climbed a tree to get away from a leopard, I got very sick for 2 weeks from malaria and had no medicine. I met a man named Hugo, and we had one son named Greg. We later divorced, and I remarried, and he died of cancer. In 1994, I started a program, Take Care, which brings forests back to life. Another project was Chimpanzee, which improves chimps' life. I still live there with my son and his family close by. I travel 300 days a year going around the world and giving talks about chimps. To think, this all started with a little chimpanzee toy named Julie. Thank you.
My name is King Tut. I was born in somewhere around 800 BC. I am known for being a king. I became king at age 9 when my dad King Akhenaten died. I restored many religious structures. My tomb was discovered in 1922.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Franklin. I was born on January 1706 in Massachusetts. I am known for inventing the lightning rod in 1752, and I helped write the Declaration of Independence. Something interesting about my life is I started writing titles using the name Silly Dog Do. I would like to be remembered as a good inventor, author, and a scientist. Did you know I freed the United States from England?
Hello, my name is Ronald Williams. I was born on February 6, 1911 in Camp Rico, Illinois. I'm known for saving someone from a river. Something interesting about my life is I was a movie star. I would like to be remembered as 40th President of the United States of America. Did you know I had bad hearing because someone shot right by my ear? Thank you for learning about me. Have a nice day.
My name is Elvis Aaron Presley. You can call me Elvis. I was born on January 8, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi. I'm known for singing rock and roll, and people call me the king of rock and roll. My parents, Vernon and Gladys Presley, my twin brother Jesse Guerin, who died at birth. Growing up was rough for my family. We lived in small homes a lot of the times. We didn't have running water or electricity. Work was hard to find. We didn't have much and we moved around often. When I was young, my father went to jail for trying to steal money. School was not fun. I got picked on a lot because I liked to sing, and the kids even broke my guitar by cutting the strings. I got my first guitar for my 11th birthday and started learning to play and sing. It was tough because I missed my brother. When I graduated high school in 1953, I worked in a factory. In 1954, I started singing with Sun Records. In 1955, my record company was RCA. By 1956, I was known all over the world for my singing. I was very popular for my songs and my movies. I starred in 33 movies and was on many TV shows and won many awards. I was drafted into the Army not long after I bought my mansion in Memphis, Tennessee. This is where me and my parents lived. On May 1st, 1967, I married Priscilla Ballou. And our daughter, Lisa Mary, was born on February 1st, 1968. I was working very hard to be as famous as I was before the Army and started taking pills to sleep and pills to keep me weak. On August 16, 1977, at my home, Graceland, I died from a heart attack. Elvis had many challenges and successes in his life, becoming a famous singer as a poor boy and being picked on. To all the awards he won, having everyone know his name and his songs, he was able to meet famous people and take care of his family. Elvis made significant contributions to American music and rock and roll. He was recognized by his voice, his slick back, black hair, and sideburns, and also for his flashy outfits. He sang all kinds of music, was an actor, and a American hero from the Army who everyone knew. Today, people still visit Graceland, and artists say he influenced them in their careers. Elvis wanted people to remember him as a hard worker that earned everything he had, but because of what he meant to music and fans, he will always be known as the king of rock and roll. Thank you for learning about me.